all its characters that talk to cats, that hunt cats to make them into flutes, Haruka Murakami's Kafka on the Shore is a perplexing read. But it also strikes a note in my heart, because at the core of these peculiar elements is the relationship between Kafka Tamura, a 15-year-old teen who journeys to find his other half, and his alter ego, a boy named Crow. Though strange their exchange might be, this excerpt from the beginning pages captures a universal picture. A scene of a master and an apprentice, a dedicated coach and an underdog player, two parents and their maturing teen. Guiding figures that help to unravel the problems of a lost child. Kafka is no ordinary teen. He is lonely, he is neglected, he is isolated. But even he creates a way to, somehow, trudge forward. And even he is guided by someone else. This is Haruki Murakami's Kafka on the Shore. Forget it, he says. You're just getting started and I shouldn't lay all this depressing stuff on you. You've already decided what you're going to do, and all that's left is set the wheels in motion. I mean, it's your life. Basically, you gotta go with what you think is right. That's right. When all is said and done, it is my life. I'll tell you one thing though. You're going to have to get a lot tougher if you want to make it. I'm trying my best, I say. I'm sure you are, Crow says. These last few years you've gone a whole lot tougher. I've gotta hand it to you. I nod again. But let's face it, you're only 15. Crow goes on. Your life's just begun and there's a ton of things out in the world that you've never laid eyes on. Things you can never imagine. As always, we're sitting beside each other on the old leather sofa in my father's study. Crow loves the study and all the little objects scattered around there. Now he's toying with a B-shaped glass paperweight. If my father was at home, you could bet Crow would never go anywhere near it. But I have to get out of here, I tell him. No two ways around it. Yeah, I guess you're right. He places the paperweight back on the table and links his hands behind his head. Not that running away is gonna solve everything. I don't want to rain on your parade or anything, but I wouldn't count on escaping this place if I were you. No matter how far you run, distance might not solve anything. The boy named Crow lets out a sigh and rests a fingertip on each of his closed eyelids and speaks to me from the darkness within. How about we play our game? He says. All right, I say. I close my eyes and quietly take a deep breath. Okay, picture a terrible sandstorm, he says. Get everything else out of your head. I do as he says, get everything else out of my head. I forget who I am even. I'm a total blank. Then things start to surface. Things that as we sit here on the old leather sofa in my father's study, both of us can see. Sometimes faith is like a small sandstorm that keeps changing direction. Sometimes fate is like a small sandstorm that keeps changing directions. You change direction, but the sandstorm chases you. You turn again, but the storm adjusts. Over and over, you play this out like some ominous dance of death just before dawn. Why? Because this storm isn't something that blew in from far away, something that has nothing to do with you. This storm is you, something inside you. So all you can do is give into it, step right inside the storm, closing your eyes and plugging up your ears so the sand doesn't get in, and walk through it, step by step. There's no sun there, no moon, no direction, no sense of time. Just fine white sand swirling up into the sky like pulverized bones. That's the kind of sandstorm you need to imagine. And that's exactly what I do. I imagine a white funnel stretching up vertically into the sky like a thick rope. My eyes are closed tight, hands cupped over my ears so those fine grains of sand can't blow inside me. The sandstorm draws steadily closer. I can feel the air pressing on my skin. It really is going to swallow me up. The boy called Crow softly rests a hand on my shoulder, and with that, the storm vanishes. From now on, no matter what, you've got to be the world's toughest 15-year-old. That's the only way you're going to survive. And in order to do that, you've got to figure out what it means to be tough. You following me? I keep my eyes, then don't reply. I just want to sink off into sleep, Like this, his hand on my shoulder, I hear the faint flutter of wings. You're gonna be the world's toughest 15-year-old. Crow whispers as I try to fall asleep, as if he was carving the words in a deep blue tattoo on my heart. And you really have to make it through that violent metaphysical symbolic storm. No matter how metaphysical or symbolic it might be, make no mistake about it. It will cut through flesh like 1,000 razor blades. People will bleed there and you will bleed too. Hot, red blood. You'll catch that blood in your hands, your blood and the blood of others. And once the storm is over, you won't remember how you made it through, how you managed to survive. And you won't even be sure, in fact, whether the storm is really over. But one thing is certain. When you come out of the storm, you won't be the same person who walked in. That's what the storm is all about. On my 15th birthday, I'll run away from home, journey to a far-off town, and live in a corner of a small library. It'll take a week to go into the whole thing, all the details, so I'll just give the main point. On my 15th birthday, I'll run away from home, journey to a far-off town, and live in a corner of a small library. Sounds a bit little like a fairy tale, but it's no fairy tale, believe me. No matter what sort of spin you put on it.